So it looks like Eddie Izzard is the new face of Hammer Films, and they're going to be dropping very soon. And it looks like it's already a little bit behind, but with the strike, you know how things roll out on delay. They're going to be doing an interpretation of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I love The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There are many versions of it out there. The ones that I would recommend, probably the one with Frederick March, one of the classics. And then you could jump into something a little more modern, Mary Riley, where you've got the great John Malkovich playing Jekyll and Hyde. Unfortunately, you have to suffer through Julia Roberts. So, no such thing as a free lunch. But Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is one of the all-time great horror classics. And Eddie Izzard looks like is going to be the star. I'm a fan of Izzard. I remember him from Shadow of the Vampire, where he played Gustav. He was great in that. I loved him in Oceans 12 and 13. He was great in that as Roman. I really enjoyed him in Hannibal, where he plays Dr. Abel Gideon, a psychiatrist locked away in a psychiatric hospital who attempts to take credit for Hannibal Lecter's work and has Lecter visit a very terrible revenge on him for that. But in today, 2013, it looks like he's going to be the first actor in Hammer Films' new launching pad. So let's get right to it. Dr. Jekyll, short teaser video previews Eddie Izzard and his arrival as Dr. Nina Jekyll. This was 4 weeks ago. So this movie, as my understanding, was supposed to have been released last month. Tomorrow is Labor Day here in the U.S., but everything is getting pushed back because of the strikes, the writer's strike, the Screen Acting Guild strike. Performers are not really getting out there and promoting their films. This looks like a small film. This is written by John Squires. So I'm not sure what the story is, but it's important in the sense that it is Hammer Films' first release. So let's get right to it. Nina Jekyll. Okay. Eddie Izzard stars in the upcoming Dr. Jekyll, which will receive its world premiere at Fright Fest on August 25th. To the best of my knowledge, it didn't happen. While you wait, a short teaser has debuted this morning. There's not much to see here, but the teaser does give us a fresh look at Eddie Izzard as Dr. Nina Jekyll, a brand new take on the classic horror character. Check it out below. Director Joe Stevenson recently told Fangoria, this is, if I didn't mention, it's from Bloody Disgusting, there's been over 100 cinematic adaptations of Stevenson's novella, but there has never been a trans Dr. Jekyll. We'll get into this in a minute. There seem to be some assumptions that because Nina is a trans character, we are somehow going to make it about gender. That is not the case. The themes of our film are true to the original work. Okay, let's just keep going. Emmy winner Eddie Izzard stars as Dr. Nina Jekyll in the Hammer Studios' Be Good Picture Company feature film Dr. Jekyll, a modern interpretation of Robert Louis Stevenson's iconic novella, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Scott Chambers co-stars with Lindsay Duncan, Jonathan Hyde, and Simon Callow also starring. Joe Stevenson, an acclaimed drama Chicken, and featured documentary McKellen playing the part, directs, having developed the project with first-time writer Dan Kelly Mulhern. Oh boy. Dr. Jekyll focuses on a reclusive Nina Jekyll finding friendship with her newly hired help Rob, played by rising star Scott Chambers, who must work together to prevent Hyde from destroying her life. This sounds like a mess. And really, okay. Stevenson produces the film with Guy de Bijou, Journey's End, and Liam Couts, The Good Drug. Kristen Angermeyer, Army of Thieves, and Filth serves as executive producer. Other notable actors who have played Dr. Jekyll and Hyde over the years include John Barrymore, Frederick March, like I mentioned, Spencer Tracy, Jack Palance, and most recently, Russell Crowe in that awful Mummy movie. If you get a chance to watch Penny Dreadful Season 3, they actually start to they introduce Henry Jekyll, which was an interesting interpretation. They played him as this angry Indian man, half British, half Indian, not really accepted by either. Lots of issues there. You could see where that was going to go, and I would have liked to have seen more. I like the guy who played him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but if you get a chance, go see that. And that's pretty much all they're telling us. Here we see a poster. I'm not so sure about this. I don't know why this necessarily needs to be the first thing that they release, but I guess we'll see. I'm going to take a chance and play the teaser. It is 7 seconds long.
Where have you gone?
Okay, so that's the trailer, and that's it. I mean, I'm not sure why Jekyll has to be a trans woman. What the hell does that have to do with the source material? I don't get it. I don't recall. I mean, they seem to be sort of taking a Mary Riley approach, where you're seeing it through the viewpoint of the servant or this friend now. Why not just do a loyal interpretation to Stevenson's book? It's super violent. I think it would draw a lot of horror fans to do the classic in its original way. But this is the direction that Hammer Films is going in. I love Hammer Films, Sir Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, so many great ones out there. And this seems to be the first step, the first project in their new ownership, their new infusion of cash, and their new list of movies. So, yeah, that's the video. There's not much. Let me know what you think. Like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. Is this going to be good? Am I looking at it the wrong way, or are you spot on with me, or somewhere in the middle? Okay, that's it, everybody. We'll see you all in